Once upon a time, in a village, a 10-12-year-old boy lived with his parents. One day, after many years, the boy goes to his grandfather's village. There, he always plays with his grandfather. While playing, one day he says to his grandfather, "Grandfather, when I grow up, I will become very successful. Can you tell me some ways to become successful?" Smiling, his grandfather looks at him and says, "Yes, I can tell you." He takes him to a plant shop where small plants were available. His grandfather buys 2 small plants and returns home. After coming home, he plants one plant in a big pot inside the house and places the other plant outside the house. Then he asks his grandson, "Which plant do you think will grow bigger and stronger in the future?" The boy thinks for a while and says to his grandfather, "The plant we planted inside the house will grow bigger because it will be safe from all the problems inside the house, and the plant we planted outside is at risk from many things like the sun's rays, storms, heavy rain, and even animals." Smiling, his grandfather says to him, "Let's see what happens in the future with these 2 plants." 4 years later, the boy visits his grandfather's house again. After seeing his grandfather, he asks him again, "Grandfather, last time I asked you how to become successful in life, but you didn't tell me anything, but now you have to tell me." Smiling, his grandfather says to him, "Sure, but first, let's see those 2 plants we planted a few years ago." Saying this, his grandfather takes him to the same place where they had planted the plants earlier. They see that the plant planted inside the house has become a big plant, and the plant planted outside has grown into a huge tree. Its branches were very strong and long, and its shade covered the entire ground. Now, the boy's grandfather looks at him and says, "Tell me, which plant has become bigger and stronger? Which plant has become more successful?" The boy says, "The plant we planted outside has become bigger, but grandfather, how is this possible? This plant must have faced many dangerous situations, many problems, but still, how did it become such a big tree?" His grandfather looks at him and says, "You are right. The plant we planted outside must have faced many problems, but dealing with those problems, it has become so big and huge. And now, it can grow its branches as much as it wants, and the problems like storms and heavy rain make its branches even stronger. That's why today it has become a very big tree, and now all the problems seem small to it." Then his grandfather looks at him and says, "Son, always remember one thing. Until you struggle in your life, until you don't pass through difficulties, until then you cannot achieve success in your life. If you always make comfortable choices in your life, you won't grow as much as you can. And if you stay ready to struggle for every problem, always stay ready for struggle, then achieving any destination will not be impossible for you, and then the big problems will seem small to you." After hearing this, the boy takes a deep breath and starts looking towards the large and big tree. His grandfather's words were spinning in his mind. Friends, we consider problems, obstacles, difficulties as enemies of our life, but these obstacles, these difficulties, make us strong and make us more successful in our life. And someone has said that if there are no problems in your life, then understand that you are on the wrong track.